clap for PPA Edu, who has joined us, always at the AGM, because he has something to say. And so Sego, the man in the white hat, he joined us earlier and contributed to. Yes. So Edu, thank you. Please, we have a short thank you from, please, the family of Faustina. Please, can you come forward? You are coming to thank us. Yes, you are coming to thank us and leave, so don't worry. Please come. This is one.
Hello, everyone. Please, good evening to you all. I'm Faustina Kafui, a student member of the Beyond Surveyors Network, and also Hello, everyone. Please, good evening to you all. I'm Faustina Kafui, a student member of the Beyond Surveyors Network, and also at Koforidge Lands Commission. I'm here to express my appreciation to the Surveyor President, the LSD President, and also the the Ghana Institution of Surveyors as a whole, for your love, your support, and your prayers for me during my difficult times. I had an accident on the 25th of October 2025. It wasn't easy for me, but the support, the prayers, and the encouragement helped me go in each and every day. I'm here to say a very big thank you to each and everyone who was able to support me through finances and also through their prayers. I'm really grateful, and I pray that the Lord will replenish all that they've lost, and He will replace you abundantly. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Please. So the family is here. They have a few words of appreciation. Let's clap for them as they let us know. You are the father. Yes, so we'll hear from whoever you choose to speak on your behalf. Let the father speak.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Divine Kanyagui, the father of Faustina Kafui Kanyagui. I'm here on behalf of the Kanyagui family to thank Ghana Institution of Surveyors and all other fraternity for your kind support, your love, and all what you've done for us, your prayers. We are very grateful. Actually, when it happened, it was a big blow, but you came to our aid at the right time. And today, we are very grateful. She had wanted to be with you, to serve you during this conference. But unfortunately, it was only today she was discharged. Right from October to this time. It's only today that she was discharged. So we just sent her home, then we drove to this place. We are very grateful. She's doing very well. And the whole family is very grateful for your support and your love. May God richly bless all of you for what you've done for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. People who are outside, please come in. And it looks like now we finished the appeal for funds. So those of you at the back, you can come forward. We won't collect money again. Don't be afraid. So those of you at the back, please, if you can come forward a bit. Thank you very much. I'm handing over to Honorary Secretary. My work is done. The light, please, light. It says it's too, if you can dim it a bit. It's too bright. Maybe if you focus on the front. Thank you.
Good afternoon, colleagues of AS. The AGM of 27th February 2026 by the Ghana Institution of Surveyors is called to order. So we have microphone, please pray for us. Please, let's be on our feet, if you can. We realize time is far spent, and we welcome you all to this annual general meeting of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors. Indeed, the year has been very eventful, and thank God how far He has brought us. I see most of our people we met last year in Alisa Hotel, and I can say that God has been grateful to us. I welcome you, and when it gets to discussion, please let us all contribute for the development of the institution. From the agenda, after introduction and welcome statement, we move to deceased members. During the year under review, some of our members passed on to glory, and I would like to mention them. Then together we all rise up and in silence for 1 minute. The name, the division, the name and the division. Surveyor Kwesi Edmond Mensah, diploma number A75, Quantity Surveying Division. Surveyor Edward Eric Duncan, Land Surveying, diploma number 983. Surveyor Francis Yeboah, diploma number 985, Land Surveying Division. Surveyor Mwilana Yonaya. This is from Valuation and Estate Division. Diploma number 771. Surveyor Kujo Philip Atta, Valuation and Estate Surveying Division, diploma number 1969. Surveyor Julius Kwesi Krampa, Quantity Surveying Division, diploma number 127. Surveyor Dr. Anthony Kwame Danso, Quantity Surveying Division, diploma number 509. Surveyor Paul Odate Steve Lankwe, Quantity Surveying Division, diploma number 767. Surveyor Daniel Festus Adobwa, Quantity Surveying Division, diploma number 969. Surveyor Joseph Jesse Tenkrang, diploma number 818, Land Surveying Division. Surveyor Prince Yao Japon, Valuation and Estate Surveying Division. Unfortunately, no diploma number. Please, let's rise up and observe 1 minute in honor of our foreign heroes. May the souls of our fallen surveyors rest in perfect peace. Rest in the bosom of Abraham until we meet again. Amen. At this juncture, I would like to hand over to the Honorary Secretary to take us through the minutes and the confirmation of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Surveyor President. Please project the minutes. So the minutes were sent earlier to us. So we presume that you might have gone through. And so we are going to take it page by page. So we'll start with page 1. With attendance.
Surveyor President, please, I was here, but my name is missing from the list. Surveyor Professor Joseph Weti.
Surveyor Geoffrey Atakle. My name is missing on the list.
Please, can you help us with your professional status as well?
Member, QS Division, QDS.
Fellow QSD Division. 902, my professional number.
Oh, it's there.
My name is George Banfusu, professional member. Please, for the past 4 years, I've been attending AGM. My name never appeared on your attendance list. For any reason, I don't know. So, Mr. President, if you can kindly explain it to me.
We should have been down there. I did the corrections. Yes, yes.
Hello, Surveyor Mamiama Edumadziakwa. My name is not on the list. Thank you.
Hello, my name is number 21. It's Dr. Theodora Mens. Thank you.
Hello, Surveyor President. My name is Ruth Maunyo Asio, VES, Diploma number 1369. My name is not on the list.
All right. Please, we are writing as well. So let's take our time and speak audibly so that it will be easier for us to record. Thank you.
Can I go?
Mr. President, I beg to say that those of us sitting behind you can't see anything on the screen. It's either they make the screen up there work, or we go and sit down and watch the screen here. Thank you.
Well, I'm told the screen up there is immobilized. It just give you the time. So I don't know. Then, well, if you wish, I think we can go down. We were thinking we can just go through quickly we can just go through quickly because the minutes are on our various platforms. Okay, please, those who want to go, or past president, you may go. Those who wish to go, those who wish to go, so that you may go. Yes, those who want to go, those who also want to sit here can sit. Go ahead.
So please, what we are going to do is that we are going to send a list around. Those whose names were absent should quickly write down their names for us. Meanwhile, the attendance is also ongoing. Surveyor Mate, can you help us? So we are going to move on to page 10. Page 10. Can I go on? Page 11. Page 12. Page 13.
Page 13, the Honorary Treasurer, Barbara Chumesi Boache. It was spelled Barbara Chumesi Apia.
Please, the correction again.
Page 13, line 1. Yeah. External auditors. The Honorary Treasurer, Surveyor Barbara Chumesi Apia, is supposed to be Barbara Chumesi Boache.
Thank you. Page 14. Page 15. In the absence of any correction, shall we have a member move the minutes for discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the absence of any further correction, I, Surveyor Bernard Cosmos Gonzalez, for adoption.
Seconder, please.
Surveyor Ruth Maunyo Asio, I second.
Thank you, Secretary. I think we can go through matters arising from the previous minutes. In the previous minute, I've termed 57.3.1, update on Surveying Council Bill. Yes. From the last AGM, we all had a presentation on the Surveying Council Bill. And the President made it clear then that if there is any member who have any issue concerning the bill, he should come to the write to the Secretariat or write to the leadership for redress. And he also added that the final draft of the Surveying Council Bill should be circulated on all our platforms, and they were duly done. However, when we assume office, using some of our links in government, we were in constant contact with the ministry where the bill is lodged. And all the assurances were given because it had to go back to Attorney General for them to look at it. It came back. And just as the bill was about to move from the ministry to cabinet, that was the information I was given and the firm assurance. You were there one day. The minister called before we even received our letter that what is going on. I said, Honorable, I don't know what's going on. Somebody has sent a petition about a council bill to the ministry, so the bill cannot move. Wow. In fact, I was taken aback. I was shocked because a lot of work has gone on with consultation and things. What can it be? 2 days after, we also received a copy of the so-called petition. Now, the author of the petition was our member. And that gave some of us a lot more shock. One, the opportunity has been given by members who have any issue to table it so that we will sit down as family and address the concerns. What I took from that action was that the member has virtually disrespected the leadership, has disrespected the entire institution, and decided to go all away and open, wash the leanings of the surveyors before the ministry. That alone was not a challenge. What was to follow that we later reviewed was that the petition was sent to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, to the minister. Fine. and it was copied extensively to the Secretary to Cabinet, to the Council of State, Minister for Local Government, to the Attorney General, to every, and some of us were wondering the rationale behind that. Certainly, when the minister picked it at Lands and Forestry, he referred it to the Lands Commission. And fortunately, we had a standing committee. GhIS and the Lands Commission have a standing committee looking at the council bill. So quickly, we came together and addressed the concerns. That was the instruction from the ministry. And so that we can give it to the minister. But indeed, the damage was far-reaching to the extent that at the point some of us were talking to the minister if he can fast-track issue. Or see, so long as it's going to the secretary to cabinet, then it means it has high places. We cannot do anything until we do we provide the answers. Very shocking as it may be, we sat about 2-3 sessions and responded to the minister. Then Governing Council took a decision that because the author was our member, when the president then at Alisa last year had stated clearly that if there is any issue, bring it to us so that we can all sit down. Opportunity was given. But our member decided not to mind us to go ahead. So council instituted a disciplinary action against our member. Right away, once we are resolving this issue. Indeed, where we are, the council bill is still at the ministry. After all the long and short, the ministry has set up a legal subcommittee to consider all the bills in the ministry, of which the Surveying Council bill is part. We've made an appearance at the ministry in presence of our member. We have to go again. So currently, the update is that the bill is still marking time at the Ministry of Lands and Forestry. The bill that should have been in cabinet by now is marking time as a result of that. Meanwhile, the disciplinary action against our member is ongoing. The committee has submitted their report. Our member appealed to the recommendations of the disciplinary committee. Appeal committee was set. And they have submitted their report to council. Council have written to our member. So that is what we can say concerning the update on the Surveying Council bill. Thank you. Concerning the website, a lot of work has gone into our website development, and all of us can attest to the extent that this year, registration for the conference, mainly we targeted had to be digitalized. And we say those who have not registered, please, you should register so that you can get your mails for you to get your pass to the presidential ball tomorrow. In the coming years, a lot more things, starting this council session, a lot more activities will be on the website. So if you are looking for any information as a member and you can't find them, please visit our website. And we will be able to, you'll be able to get it. I think our member was congratulated extensively last year for the good work they did on the website, and they continue to do to help us. Very soon, as was indicated, CPD and most of the activities will be digitalized. Restructuring of the Secretariat. The Secretariat restructuring, which was started about 5 years ago, is almost at its dying embers, to the extent that now, by the grace of God, we have engaged, per the Constitution, a member of the institution as the CEO of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors. There were some other vacuums which had been created during the course of the year, and we have filled all those vacuums. So we can say that the restructuring of the Secretariat is almost complete. And at this juncture, I don't know, before members demand to know the CEO, those who are not here, those who have not seen him, I would like the CEO to be introduced. Please, Sophia Sarah, please come up. Please face our members. Colleagues, per the Constitution, the emphasis was the CEO should be our member. And it is for a reason. So now, by the grace of God, we have our own Sophia Sarah Zida. She comes from the Valuation and Estate Surveying Division. It doesn't mean we have taken over. We are all there. It doesn't. Now, we're talking about the executive visits. There are a lot of visits from the last governing council session that the current session continue, virtually started afresh and completed. We will talk in detail when we get to the annual report, that one, so I will want to skip that. At this juncture, per our report, we would like to consider the financial report. No, it's part of matters arising. So it's part of the matters arising. That's external auditors are here. Yes. Oh, we finished the matters arising. Okay. All right. Now, I think the matters arising have been exhausted with the introduction of our CEO. Okay, Gonzalez. Please, who, the one having the mic?
Severe Chair, you indicated in the matters arising an issue regarding a disciplinary action against one of our members. I was thinking that to help us understand or to also prevent people from, presenting some of those injunctions, if you can tell us what are some of the disciplinary actions, because I believe that it's not supposed to be a secret for only the governing council, but as members, we need to understand what was done. Thank you.
Now, if there is any, we will pause here. If there is, before we move on to the new business, if there is any question on the minds of any member, please, you can raise your hands because we've gone through the matters arising from the minutes.
Surveyor President, we want to commend you and your team for the great job done, even though it's like you went forward and you had to retreat with a significant loss. We want to commend you. You've done well, you and your team. We believe that with the measures put in place, we'll be able to advance the cause, trusting God that a year by now, we'll have some good news to share as a group. So, well done, you and your team.
Severe President, all the members who have spoken, I don't know whether they are members in good standing.
Please, we can't hear. It looks like there's too much.
So they should tell us their diploma number so we can check whether they are in good standing. That's number one. Number two, you skipped update on Surveyors Complex project from your agenda. My diploma number is 507. Maybe I check. And I'm in good standing.
Okay, so we skipped it because nothing significant happened on the update, because we have to reconsider a new direction for the Center of Excellence. That is why we skipped. Thank you. And there is a hand here.
Mr. President, in good standing, my diploma number is 2353, very fresh, and I was in good standing at least since last year. I didn't pay today. My question goes to the President. You indicated that the bill is still at the ministries. When will it, have you got any feedback? Because I saw you with the Speaker of Parliament. I thought the bill was in Parliament. Whilst we saw you over there, greeting him and the rest. When is it moving from the ministry? Now that you have fixed all those issues, you have also been called to the subcommittee at the ministry. When will it be moving from there to either cabinet, then before it goes to Parliament? That is one. Then two, with our new CEO, I know that in every organization, the CEO becomes a member, not by vote, but a member of the governing council. Probably if it's not there in our constitution, we need to look at it, because I can say that the CEO is sitting over there, and while the governing members are here. But usually, when CEOs are around with our governing council, she needs to be at the governing council to also listen to what they will say and come with administrative angle to the members. So I don't know why she's sitting there. Is it because of the constitution or what? Thank you.
Well, thank you. I'll start with your response. I'll start with your inquiry. Ever since the CEO was appointed, all council meeting, she's been with us. I don't know why she's sitting there. Yeah, so she's been with us. She's on council per the constitution. Now, the second question, when will it leave the ministry? This is an administrative issue at this moment. When we had the first encounter at the ministry, the chairman of the committee told us or gave us the information that it's very likely he will call us again for any clarification, because we made a presentation as to why the bill should be passed. So when they finished from the ministry, I don't know, and I don't have the timelines, it will go to cabinet. And because we have given him enough information, probably cabinet will, based on the report or the memorandum that the minister will attach to the bill, to cabinet, and from cabinet, it will go to Parliament for consideration. The timelines, none of us can tell you, but we are hoping against hope. The sad thing I want to add, even as this presentation or petition is almost being resolved, I was called 2 weeks ago that there are more petitions from our members coming. Yes. Some of the petitions to me, when I read to, are frivolous. The intention of those petitions is that they don't want the bill to be passed. Simpliciter. That is the tone of the bill, their petition. I've gone to the ministry several times. I've read it. They just don't want it. As to why, and they are members. As to why, nobody knows. So we are praying that all these things will be resolved so that when the minister take it to cabinet, there will be no questions asked. So we are waiting on them for them to report. But as we all heard yesterday, the deputy minister, that's the minister through the deputy minister, made us aware that as for the passage of the bill, it will happen. Indeed, 3 weeks ago or so, when the parliament reopened, the majority leader read statements from the various ministries who have various bills ready for this council, this parliament session. And to my joy, the bills from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the Surveying Council bill is part. They have read it, that it will come. So all we are praying is that it should leave the ministry and go to cabinet. When it gets to parliament, they will do the needful. So it is, we are praying. As for the work we have done, I think you gave us the support. You prayed for us. So we will still count on your support so that we or the leaders will be able to serve you and serve you better. Thank you. So once that thing is sorted, I think we will go to the external auditors. So on the treasurer, take over.
Surveyor President, pursuant to clause 27(4) of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, Constitution and Bylaws 2017, the Honorary Treasurer has been responsible for receiving, collecting, and paying to the institution's bankers all monies collected for the institution or paid to the institution by any member or body. Pursuant to clause 27(4)(b), the Honorary Treasurer has carried out decisions and directives of the Annual General Meeting and Governing Council in matters relating to the budget and finances of the institution. Again, it is the duty of the Honorary Treasurer, pursuant to clause 27(4)(c), to prepare or cause to be prepared and circulate to every member of the institution before the annual general meeting the audited balance sheets and such annual statements of accounts in accordance with the bylaws and regulation. It is in line with this constitutional provision that I respectfully seek your leave to invite the authorities' auditors, Gogo and Associates, to present the audited accounts and financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2025. Respectfully, I move.
Survey President, Council members, present members, good afternoon. My name is Kwesi Boate, an associate partner at Gogo and Associates, and also representing the partner responsible for this engagement, Charles Amoaf Gogo. President, with your permission, I would like to present our report. Report of the independent auditor to the members of Ghana Institution of Surveyors. Report on the audit of the financial statement. Opinion. We have audited the financial statements of Ghana Institution of Surveyors for the year ended December 31st, 2025. The audited financial statements comprise the statement of financial position as at December 31st, 2025, the statement of financial performance for the year then ended, the statement of changes in net asset for the year then ended, cash flow statement for the year then ended, a note to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement present fairly, in all material respects, give a true and fair view of the financial position of the institution at December 31st, 2025, and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with the International Public Sector Accounting Standard, issued by International Public Sector Accounting Standard Board, and in a manner required by the Professional Bodies Registration Act, 1973, NRCD 143, and the Constitution of the institution. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with the international standards of auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the institution in accordance with the International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, issued by the International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants, together with ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the financial statement. We have fulfilled our responsibilities under those ethical requirements, and we believe that the audit evidence we've obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide the basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters in our professional judgment were of most significant in our audit of the financial statement of the current period. This session of auditor's report is intended to describe the matters selected from those communicated with counsel in our professional judgment of most significant in the audit of the financial statement. We have determined that there are no such matters to report. Responsibilities of the governing council and those charged with governance for the financial statement. The governing council is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statement in accordance with the International Public Sector Accounting Standard, and for such internal control as council determined is necessary to enable the preparation of the financial statement that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statement, council is responsible for assessing the institution's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting, unless council either intends to liquidate the institution or to cease operation or has no realistic alternative but to do so. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the institution's financial reporting process. Auditors' responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but it's not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ICES will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if individually or in aggregate they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decision of users taken on the basis of this financial statement. As part of an audit in accordance with ICES, We exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statement, whether due to fraud or error. Design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain audit evidence that are sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than for one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal controls. We obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the institution's internal control. We evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosures made by counsel. We conclude on the appropriateness of counsel's use of going concern basis of accounting, and based on the audit evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty exists related to events or conditions that may cause significant doubt on the institution's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in our auditor's report to the related disclosures in the financial statement, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of auditor's report. However, future events or conditions may cause the institution to cease to continue as a going concern. We evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statement, including disclosures and whether the financial statement presents the underlying transactions and events in a manner that achieves fair presentation. We communicate with those charged with governance regarding, among other matters, the plan, scope, and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal control that we identify during our audit. Reports on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirement of Section 16 of the Professional Bodies Registration Act, relevant statutory requirement, Constitution of the institution, international standards on auditing and international public sector accounting standard. We confirm compliance in that we have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the institution so far as appears from our examination of those books. The institution's statement of financial position and statement of financial performance are in agreement with the books of account. We are independent of the institution and our audit in pursuance to the constitution of the institution. In our opinion and to the best of our information, and according to the explanations given to us, the accounts give the information required under the Professional Bodies Registration Act in the manner so required, and give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the institution as at the end of the financial year and of the financial performance for the financial year then ending. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Charles Amwaf Gogo with practice license number ICAG P1027. This report has been signed for and on behalf of Gogo and Associates, chartered accountants and business consultants. The firm license number is ICAG F044. Our location address is 32 Dansuma Road, postal address Box KN 5945, Kaneshi, Accra. And the report was signed on the 13th of February, 2026. So, Mr. President, since I'm not a member, I would like, if permitted, that eligible person move for that acceptance of our report. Thank you.
Surveyor President, the financial statements and audited accounts of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors ended 31st December 2025 has been presented by auditors Gogo and Associates. May I seek your permission to move for the acceptance of the financial statements and audited accounts of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors ended 31st December 2025. Respectfully, I move accordingly. Seconded by past President Sego. So, the financial statements of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors for the year ended 31st December 2025 is hereby accepted. Once the movement is seconded, it's carried. The motion has been seconded. All that are in favor, say aye. All who are against, say nay. The ayes have it. Overwhelming. Surveyor President, the motion is carried, and the financial statements of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors for the year ended 31st December 2025 is hereby accepted, adopted for discussion. Respectfully, thank you. May I therefore welcome discussions on the financial statements of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors for the year ended 31st December 2025. I also seek permission to have Gogo to sit down, and then we are most grateful. That is so. No, sit down. I therefore invite discussions on the financial statements of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors for the year ended 31st December 2025. I'm sorry. Yes, Surveyor Jemfi Eboa.
Thank you very much. Just a few comments and a question. Over the past few years, I've had concerns about our subscription. But this year, I can see we have made progress. We have more than doubled our subscription from the previous year's amount, which is commendable. I can't fully explain whether this is because we increased the amount payable or is the effort that's been put into ensure more people pay. But either way, it's commendable, and we commend Council for that. On the other hand, I can see we've slipped in terms of our financial performance for the last year. And I've always held the view that we have to be careful we don't get into the red. It scares me to death. But scrutinizing the financial statements, I can see that there's an item that has increased significantly from the previous year, and that is other admin expenses. It rose from 92,000 the previous year to 3.2 million last year. That's a huge increase over a year. Digging deeper is a key driver of that, though, seems to be last year's AGM. It appears we spent way more than we were able to bring in, to a tune of about 1.6 million. I would like to understand how this happened and what we will do to stop it, because otherwise we'll be in trouble as an institution. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes.
You didn't tell us the page, so I think you may take it page by page or topic by topic so that we do that. Now, which page is it beginning from? I don't know. So that's why I wanted to wait. And if you agree, we'll do it page by page or topic by topic. After go and go, you grant me permission to say something. I don't want to say it in their presence.
Thank you very much, Surveyor Edie. I think the question is in line with the first item, the first, that's the statement of the financial performance. And I share your comments. Indeed, the revenue for subscription has increased. And the reason behind it is the active membership drive that the institution had embarked. We also did CPDs to educate members of who is a member in good standing. And then we reactivated or we rebranded our websites and made members personally liable for the payment of their subscription as opposed to the institution. And also, we sent notification to members that if they do not pay within the constitutionally mandated period, their names will be expunged from the record. And I believe that that drove the membership drive for members to pay the subscription as opposed to relying on their employers to pay for them. So we also embarked on executive visits in all the areas, indeed, practically all the various regions of Ghana, to drive home the point of the importance of being a member in good standing and to pay, for them to pay their dues, which is what supports all the operations of the institution and for the welfare of their members. So I believe that is what has driven members to pay, and this is the way to go. We won't go back. We will not hold employers vicariously liable for not paying the subscription of members. It is members' own liability to pay. If the employer pays ahead of the period, that is fine. But we would urge members, now with the system, members would have to pay for their names to be recorded. So I'll advise employees to rather pay the subscription early and then claim reimbursement subsequently. And that is what has driven the huge jump, and that should go. I also saw that you'd identify the huge expenditure of the institution from the year 2024 to 2025, one of which is the procurement of the software to have this membership drive activated. The others are the establishment of the various regional and regional offices, and also the educational visits, also the construction of the Center of Excellence. 300,000 cedis was paid, and predominantly the expenditure of the 20th Surveyors Week. Indeed, I must admit that there was a cost overrun of the budget, and that shot up the expenditure as opposed to the previous year. We also have some accounts receivable which have not been paid, and I believe that if it had been paid, it would have netted off the expenditure. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Surveyor Chair. With this deficit, still on that same page, this goes to suggest, or if I may ask, that we prepare a budget for a year. Because I believe that if you have a budget, we can match it towards with the expenses, so as we don't get to this point. So it's a question, and also if it's not been done, there's a recommendation that we have a budget henceforth, so that we don't go into it. Because looking at it last year, a credit of 932 was made, and we are now in deficit of 87,000. That's quite worrying. Thank you.
Advice well noted. Any other contribution?
Still on page 3, under the financial position as at 31st December, I want to find out, even though our subscription increased, I realized that our total assets as compared to 2024 for 2025 dropped a little bit. If you look at the figure, 2024 was 37 and 2025 was 36. I want to find out what accounted for this drop in assets. Then with regard to total liability for 2025, I think we did very well as compared to 2024. 2024, we had 800 and something thousand as liability, and 2025, we dropped to 217, which was good. What accounts for this drop drastically in liability and also the drop in assets, even though dues subscription increased at the time?
Thank you very much. The reason for the marginal drop in the total asset value is because of depreciation. If you look at the notes, the depreciation policy of the institution for furniture, fittings, and office equipment is 20%. In other words, the useful life of furniture, fittings, and office equipment is 5 years. So for every year, it's depreciated by the straight line basis by 20%. For motorbike, which we have, the useful life is 5 years, and therefore, per the straight line, every year is depreciated by 20%. For motor vehicles, also, it has a useful life of 5 years, and is depreciated every year 20%, so 5 years where it gets zero value. For computer equipment and accessories, the useful life was 5 years, and therefore straight line depreciation of 20% was applied. For plants and machinery, same. Useful life, 5 years, and with a depreciation rate of 20% applied. I must say that the Governing Council would look at the useful life and then perhaps revise its depreciation policy to take into account the usage of these assets per our Ghanaian standards or per our institutional standards. Some assets may have a longer useful life than the 5 years that is now applicable. So it is subject to the Governing Council and members to bring up a proposal for the revision of the depreciation policy, and I believe that it would enhance the net assets of the institution favorably. Respectfully, I submit. Yes, the comment on the budget is noted. We will do that. You know, even though it's a transition, Governing Council is a continuum. The previous treasurer has no mandate to prepare a budget for the next. And also, the financial year of the institution starts 1st January 2020. 1st January for the ensuing year till 31st December. Whereas the session of the Governing Council starts immediately upon, from March, swearing in. So your comment is well noted. that there would be that transitional provision for the outgoing executive to prepare a tentative budget to be a working document and presented for the consideration of the next session. It's a good suggestion, and I believe it will help in prudent and fiscal expenditure. Also, we would also urge the planning committee of the various AGMs to be very prudent and very deliberate in ensuring that the net is positive than negative.
Surveyor Samuel Abida, on the expenses, I saw event, venue, and decoration expenses. Event venue, 2024, 188,552. 2025, 2,122,592. Event, venue, and decoration. 188 to 2 million and over. I don't know whether there's a mistake. Because from 188 to 2 million, which means all our money is being used to a venue for events. I want us to see whether there's a mistake in that, or whether it's a typo, or that's the real thing. I need an explanation.
Mr. President, this is related to that, if I can just add it. The same page, I think page 29, and that's why I'm shaking. And I think because Governing Council discussed this before coming here, maybe they've taken a decision. Because currently we are in red, 1.8 million. Whilst last year, we had 227,000 positive. So, if in addition to what he said, if we can know, because for such a jump, there must be something significant that happened. He has identified one, but as you provide explanation, can we know what Governing Council's decision is? So that, how are we going to come out of this dip, 1.8 million, and what are we leaving for the next council to work with? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Like they say, figures do not lie. Figures do not lie. So it appears as the heading is events, venue, and decoration expense. And that was what was used to capture the 2024 accounts. But however, that budget head was pregnant with a lot of expenditure. In addition to hiring the event venue, we had some of our executives who resided out of Accra. They were afforded the opportunity to lodge in the conference venue, Alisa Hotel. Ghana Shippers Authority, our past president, and also some awardees who were receiving awards who were coming from Kumasi reside. And also that included the expenditure for La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. So even though it is this amount, it is not only the venue and decoration. And if you check from what the auditors wrote, they indicated that there was an under-reporting. Yes, page 19. We have determined in the 2024 audited financial statements the accounts receivable items were understated by 2,170,170. And items for account pay 755, 7 38 respectively, due to inadequate records keeping and information. So all those understatements were taken care of in this year. So some of those expenditures would have found themselves in 2024 if proper records were kept. It is in this light that the entire administration was restructured. Now we have a finance manager and a finance officer who are now more or less ensuring that proper books are kept and adequate information is given to external auditors to capture it. But suffice it to admit that the expenditure for the AGM for 2025 was huge. And most... Okay.
Thank you. At AGM activities for last year, you see, normally it is the year ending 2020, December. As of December, we have not paid most of the expenditure for the previous year. So what was paid reflected in last year's accounts. Most of the expenditure, that is where it started from. Do you get me? The previous years, unlike this year, we started paying the AGM accounts in 2025, most of them. But this time, the payment for last year's, or most of the activities were paid in the previous, January, February. So it adds on to what we've paid for this year. That's why we see the jump. However, concerning the AGM and the conference, we have huge outstandings for some of our corporate organizations. In the excess, they have not paid as at last year. So they paid last year, we have pre-funded, but they haven't paid back. That is one of the challenges. That is why he said accounts receivable is huge. Because if they had paid, it would have lowered that figures there. Thank you.
Surveyor, I see Surveyor Osafo's hand up.
787, a member of good standing, Geoffrey Osafo Osei. Per the presentation you've made, my understanding then is for 2026 accounts, that will be given in 2027. A lot of expenditure has already been made, so we should expect positives in 2027. Is that what you are trying to say, please? Because, Mr. President, the President said that for 2020, most of the expenditures were paid in 2025, resulting in we having more expenditure in 2024. But for this conference, most of the expenditures were made in 2025. Is that my understanding? If it is my understanding, then for 2026 accounts, which will be delivered in about 365 days' time, we are expected to have less expenditure. Is that what you are trying to say? Okay, then try and let all things be equal. Because, no, over time, without prejudice, we believe you are doing very well. But it appears whenever there is accounts, then there is a problem, not only here. Whenever we are rendering accounts, wherever there is a problem. Let's try and get the things well, because personally also looking at the accounts, I've got a bit worried, because we seem to have overspent.
Yes. Well noted, and we accept that. Jay, I'll be with you. In fact, the expenditure for this AGM was even paid in 2025. Part of the expenditure for hiring this venue was paid in December 2025. Surveyor Che.
Yes, I think a lot have been said, but I think I have to react. I heard from the table that our expenditure was very high, but I think one of the things I want to bring to bear is the fact that as a conference this year,
last year, the last conference, we made some savings. So when we say that the figures are high and we are making, I just want to say that to buttress what the president said, there are some outstandings. However, I just want to bring members' mind to something. When we went to Kumasi, a lot of things were free. Venue was free, highly subsidized things, and that is what is causing the comparable service as we see there. And my estate head is here. She can testify to the fact that a lot of things were made free. So when you compare especially the accommodation and other things, all the things were given to us for free. So it's like comparing oranges with the other one. So that is what it is. So, but if you go down, you can see that a lot of things compares favorably. Media, publicity, and all of that. So just to clear, and also to establish that we did not make a loss. There was a gain. Thank you.
Yeah, so Mike, the last question. Yes.
Surveyor President, why can't we align the people who spend the money, responsible for them to come and tell us how they spend the money? Because you are not the people who actually spend the money. Is that correct? Because your January to December alignment, you were not even in session, or? So yes, there's a need to align those who spend the money to answer for the expenditure.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike, that's a good comment. The planning committee of the 20th Surveyors Week presented their reports to the Governing Council and it was accepted. So they rendered an account to the Governing Council. But to the extent that I am the honorary treasurer and I'm responsible for receiving, collecting, paying, and keeping the books, of which the external auditor will have to audit all the transactions from 1st January to 31st December 2025. I'm duty bound to admit how the books have been spent and then submit it to the auditors to audit. So I believe every committee and office would have to perform its duty accordingly. So they have accounted to the Governing Council, and it is the finances that have been audited by virtue of how these books were kept.
So we are in 2026.
That is
You've made some expenses in January, February.
Yes.
And the new treasurer will be the person sitting in the chair telling us the same thing. Why can't we align who is telling us the expenses? I mean, this is not your fault. It's been something that's gone on for far too long. So as an institution, we should see how best we can align this sort of thing. Because you will not be here.
Yes.
It will be somebody else. But you've made some expenses in January and even December, including this AGM.
That is so. That is so. Yeah, so it's well noted. I think...
or align the financial year with the session.
Yes, so maybe I believe that it's subject to constitutional review. If we make the session coterminous with the financial year, it will cure it. But then there must be proper handover from one treasurer to the next treasurer. And the books have to be well kept so that they will reflect the true and proper expenditure and income of the institution. I pray, so it's well noted. It's well noted. Oh, Surveyor ED has his hand up. In fact, we said it's the last question, but you have the instruction that this should be the last question. Apologies.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Treasurer. I'm on one of our past treasurers. What is suggested, is that has been the norm? That you call the past authorities to come and render accounts Is that what we also do in Parliament? As the Treasurer has said, he has accepted the responsibilities and the benefits of every. So his suggestion, I don't support at all. I don't support. That's not the norm.
Thank you very much. The financial report is discharged. Our auditors, you are humbly discharged. We wish to express our appreciation for the service rendered. We are most grateful.
My request is standing. I said that after they've left, you grant me permission. Are you granting me permission? I said so earlier. I requested so earlier. May I?
I didn't hear you, please.
Earlier on, I said after our auditors have gone, you grant me permission to say something which I didn't want to say in their presence. I said it earlier.
So we are not going yet. So hold your fire.
Oh, they are discharged.
Okay.
Mr. Auditor, you read to us portion of the Constitution which indicated that the report has to be sent to us, so and so. It appears, I stand for correction, you jump one important statement there. What statement is that? I stand for correction. That these things should come to us at least 21 days before discussion. You didn't read that one. I beg you. I'm not saying that we should go back. Next time, let us do it so. I, as a person, I'm getting this thing. I can't read it. So I always print, either you give us or I print. And when you want to quote from the Constitution again, I beg you, quote and quote properly. This one I didn't quote properly.
Very much obliged. So next on the agenda is appointment of auditors. To appoint or retain auditors for ensuing financial year. That's from 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026. Okay. So the Governing Council has decided to retain Gogo and Associates as its auditors for the year ended 2020. For the year from 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026. All that are in favor, say aye. Okay, thank you. Right, Gonzalo.
Sir Chair, in as much as Gogo and Associates are doing a very good job for us, I believe that we shouldn't look far off the Companies Act, which it determined Act, I think, Section 139, which gives a time limit. It gives 6 years. And to the best of my knowledge, this audit firm have been doing an audit for over 8 years. I can't remember the number of years. It states that they are supposed to have a 6-year audit is permitted to hold office for a maximum term of 6 years. Now, there should be a cooling period. After serving the maximum term, the auditor is eligible to reappoint only after a cooling off period of not less than 6 years. So I believe that we are doing ourselves, we'll do ourselves good if we go by this and change our auditors. Otherwise, keeping them still, I'm not saying they are doing marvelous work, but per this, we need to amend them. So Governing Council should consider that. Thank you.
We want them, they are doing a very good job. Deliberation on, yes. Now we jump the annual report. So we move to the annual report. Brief, Honorary Secretary, take over.
about it.
That one, we read through.
Read it. Gonzalez, read it.
So I'm saying by the Company Act 2019, Act 992, Section 139, which says that the maximum term of an auditor, they are permitted to hold office for a maximum term of 6 years. And it says that rotation, that's the cooling off period. After serving the maximum term, the auditor or audit firm is eligible for reappointment only after a cooling off period of no less than 6 years. And I'm saying that, per the best of my knowledge, this audit firm has been doing audit for over 8 years. Unless otherwise, I stand for correction, but I know they've been doing this for over 8 years. So, per this, let me move that though the governing council have the power to take the decision, let's move that we appoint a new audit firm. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I believe you said an auditor, and you were reading the Companies Act. So it's an auditor of a company incorporated under the Companies Act, Act 179, now Act 992. You understand? So it's an auditor of a company. Ghana Institution of Surveyors is a body corporate or is a professional body incorporated under the Professional Bodies Regulation Act 1973, NRCD 143. Be that as it may, I believe that the dictates of the Companies Act accord with good corporate governance if professional bodies abide by this. So this was discussed at the Governing Council, and because of the wee hours of this discussion, in the wisdom of God, we thought that let us retain them for the very last time, because it would take time for us to procure a new auditor. So we hear you. It accords with good corporate governance, but we hear you.
So we are per our constitution, our bylaws, I think that Article 47, appointment of professional auditors, I think 3, it said a person or a partner of a company shall be qualified for appointment as a professional audit if for the purpose of, and it was reference to the Company Act. All right, so I believe that there's a link with that. Even though we are a professional body, and also for good governance, as Riley said, keeping the same audit firm for so long will not be to the interest of our institution. And per this also, it means that whatever company audit firm that is selected is supposed to be in accordance with the Company Act as per our bylaws. So with all due respect, I think that we need to do the needful. Thank you.
Mr. President, I think we are wasting time on frivolous things which must be discussed at the Governing Council level, not at AGM. So let us move on quickly and get all concerns that will be raised, discussed at the Governing Council meetings and decisions taken. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, annual report.
Sir President, please, if you can give me the audience. I think the AGM is the highest decision body.
Prof, you are out of order. Please, we've settled this, and I think we need to look at the annual report. Probably if there are any other issues, you can pick it up at AOB. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Surveyor President. So for want of time, we would want to move straight to page 17 of the annual report. Activities for the session. courtesy calls on stakeholders. During the 2025-2026 session, the President, together with members of the Executive Council, paid courtesy calls on key stakeholders as part of efforts to strengthen strategic partnerships and enhance collaboration in the delivery of the institution's mandate. These visits were aimed at deepening relationships with government agencies, regulatory bodies, and allied institutions whose operations directly impact the surveying profession and the built environment. The courtesy calls provided an opportunity for the leadership of the institution to formally introduce the executive, reaffirm the institution's commitment to professionalism and discuss areas of mutual interest. Key issues discussed included land administration and management, infrastructure development, public procurement processes, professional standards, capacity building, and the role of surveying professionals in national development. Institutions visited during the session included GRIDCO, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, National Service Headquarters, Lands Commission, the Acting Chief Justice's Office, the Public Procurement Authority, Ministry of Defense, and Administrator of Stool Lands. Stakeholders welcomed the engagement and expressed appreciation for the institution's proactive approach in fostering collaboration. Overall, the courtesy calls enhanced stakeholder relations, strengthened interinstitutional cooperation, and reinforced the institution's relevance as a key partner in policy dialogue and implementation within the land and built environment sector. Regional visit to branches, educational institutions, and Lands Commission. In the Western region, we visited University of Mines and Technology, Takrady Technical University, where the regional branch executive, as well as the student chapter executive were sworn in. Western North, Ghana Bauxite Company, Chirano Gold Mines, the Regional Minister's Office, Ashanti Gold, Bibiane. Ahafo region, we engaged members from Newmont, the District Assembly, Lands Commission, Feeder Roads, and Gosu Regional Hospital. The regional branch was inaugurated as well as the executive sworn in. Bono, we visited the Sunyani Technical University and the Regional Lands Commission, where the executive were sworn in, as well as at the Sunyani Technical University, the students' executive were sworn in. Bono East, there was a meeting with members of the institution, and the regional executive were also sworn into office. Central Region, Cape Coast Technical University, where the executive of the student membership was sworn in, as well as University of Cape Coast, where the student members were sworn in. The regional executive were also sworn into office. In Greater Accra, as said previously, we had GRICO, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, ECG, Administrator of Stool Lands, AESL, National Service Headquarters, Lands Commission, Public Procurement Authority, Real Estate Agency Council. Upper West, the Lands Commission, and there was an engagement with our members, and the regional branch was inaugurated, as well as the executive sworn in. Dr. Hila Liman Technical University, there was an engagement with the VC and the students, where the executive were sworn into office. Eastern Region, there was a visit to Koforidua Technical University, where there was an interaction with the student members, and the executives were engaged at the Regional Coordinating Council. In the Northern Region, there was an interaction with the members of the institution. Northeast, Lands Commission was visited, and there was an engagement with the Regional Coordinating Council, where the regional executive were sworn in. Upper East Region, we visited Bolgatanga Technical University, where there was an engagement with the VC and members of the institution, where the regional branch was inaugurated, as well as the executive sworn in. Volta Region, there was an interaction with members and the swearing in of the regional executive. Savannah, the same, there was an interaction and swearing in of the regional executive. FIG Working Week in Australia. The president and other members of the institution traveled to Australia for the FIG Working Week. The next will be held in Cape Town, South Africa. Formation of GhIS think tank. Following the approval and adoption of the Governing Council, the think tank has been formally institutionalized and is now fully in operation. Center for Excellence Project. During the year under review, the institution started the development of the Center for Excellence, a skills-focused training initiative aimed at equipping members with practical, hands-on expertise. Progress on the project has been phased due to the technical and structural nature of the work and limited labor capacity. While full project implementation is funding dependent, steps have been taken to ensure training activities commence even before the completion of the infrastructure. Surveying Council Bill. Efforts to advance the Surveying Council Bill during the period under review involve close engagement with the ministry. As a result, the bill is being processed. Council recognized the need for proactive engagement and advocacy to accelerate the bill's progression. Accordingly, the President has been mandated to coordinate efforts, including liaising with ministry officers, providing necessary motivation and support, and ensuring timely submission to Cabinet once the bill is ready. Restructuring of the Secretariat. Staff evaluation have been conducted using newly developed appraisal instruments designed in line with the recommendation of a human resource expert to ensure objectivity, accountability, and continuous performance improvement. Hiring of new staff. As part of the restructuring process and in alignment with the GhIS strategic plan, vacancies arose in the positions of IT, finance manager, CEO, member services officer, and finance officer. These vacancies were formally advertised and a structured recruitment process, including screening and interviews, were conducted. Following this process, all the positions have been successfully filled. One finance officer's appointment was terminated. One member services staff resigned, as well as a cleaner. These positions have been subsequently filled. Amendments of diploma number. This platform was used to provide a detailed explanation during a CPD of the rationale behind the amendments. The primary objective of the new system is to ensure IT compliance through a standardized numeric format. Additionally, the revised numbering structure is intended to clear identification of members' division and membership class while maintaining their original diploma number within the new format. Regional branches. All the regional branches are now fully operational and effectively serving members within their respective regions. So we have the executive of the regional branches on page 23 of all the regions we visited, so you can check page 24, international delegation visits on land management and surveying. The institution hosted 3 separate international delegations as part of knowledge sharing and capacity building initiatives in land management and the surveying profession. Each visit was tailored to the specific interests and reform objectives of the visiting delegation. IGAD delegation, that is made up of Intergovernmental Authority on Development. They undertook a technical study visit to Ghana to examine the country's land administration framework and professional regulation systems. And IGAD is made up of countries in the central part of Africa. Then there was also a delegation from Gambia. Also came to study the operational and professional structures underpinning the surveying profession. Their visits aim to strengthen the understanding of professional governance, institutional collaboration, and best practices in land administration. Then another delegation from Uganda. Their visit was to explore Ghana's land management systems and regulatory environments for surveying practice. Their engagement centered on institutional reforms, policy implementation strategies, and mechanisms for ensuring accountability and efficiency in land administration. Strategic Memorandum of Understanding and Institutional Partnership. The institution has to date entered into 3 strategic Memorandum of Understanding aimed at strengthening institutional operations, enhancing member benefits, and fostering corporate partnerships. High Flow Limited. GhIS signed an MOU with High Flow, a company specializing in ceramic products and sanitary ware, including toilet seats and related fittings. This partnership is intended to create avenues for professional collaboration, particularly in areas related to building materials, construction standards and industry engagements. Travel trusts. GhIS entered into an agreement with travel and logistic needs. Under this arrangement, the company assists with flight bookings, accommodation reservations, visa processing support, and general travel coordination for official assignments, conferences, workshops, and international engagements. Aspire Destination Limited. Similarly, they also signed an MOU with the institution to provide comprehensive travel management services. This includes day-to-day travel arrangements for council members, secretarial staff, and official delegates. The collaboration enhances convenience, improves planning for local and international events, and ensures seamless collaboration, enhances convenience, improving planning for local and international events, and ensures seamless coordination of institutional travel and activities. Surveyor President, I present the annual report for further deliberation. Thank you. On that note, I move for the adoption of the report for activities of the 2025-2026 Council session.
Any seconder? Now, any questions, clarification, or comments? If any, if there are no questions, then we move on to the next agenda. A hand is up.
I want to acknowledge the extensive travel of the council, but I just realized that Ashanti region, which hosts maybe about 80% of all of us, was not visited. So it should be on record so that maybe the next council will take note of that. Thank you.
It's a comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, I must commend your team for the visit study undertook at the Western North region. That was world class. It has never happened before in the history of GhIS. To see the president and the whole entourage coming over to the mines to make a difference. We congratulate you. Thank you.
Okay. No more comments. Thank you. We're moving on. Deliberations on matters tabled by Governing Council. Increase in member subscription. Honorary Treasurer, please take over.
Thank you. Thank you, Surveyor President. We would like to submit for the consideration of members an increase in the subscription fee for professional members, fellows, technician members, practicing firms, corporate members, and trainees. It is my understanding that the existing or the current subscription of the various categories was increased 4 years ago. My understanding is over 5 years ago. And by virtue of the economic situation and other financial operations and needs of the institution, there is a need to revise it to ensure that the institution becomes a going concern and operates in the best interest of the institution, its members, and the nation as a whole. So respectfully, if my analysis can be projected for the consideration of members. Currently, fellows, the current subscription for fellows is 770 cedis. 770 cedis, professional members 620 cedis, technician members 495 cedis, practicing firms 1,875, corporate members 2,875, and trainee members 187. It is instructive to note that out of these amounts for the members, fellows, professional members, and technician members, 120 cedis goes to welfare. So, for instance, for professional members, the current subscription is 620 cedis, out of which 120 cedis goes to welfare. And the welfare is now active after an incubation period of 1 year, and when we started pulling that amount into, I believe we are working to ensure that what I'm saying is projected. Now, the paid up members for fellows was 187 as at 31st December 2025, and an amount of 143,990 cedis was generated. Paid up members, professional members 1,118, technician members 55, practicing firms 120, corporate members 21, and trainee members 887. Indeed, like I hinted earlier, by virtue of the websites and the payment system that we have adopted, the subscription has been enhanced. But then, the total subscription for the year 2025, for instance, we're able to generate 1,749,169. And if you look at the expenditure, we are challenged. Indeed, we also rely on sponsorship from our partners, sponsorship from members, but these are variables. So the constant is subscription being paid by these various categories of members. So in doing the analysis, we made an assumption that even if there's a conservative increase of 10% membership in who will be paid up members for 2026, then we'll have 206 fellows paid up, 1,998 members, 61 technician members, 132 technician members, 132 practicing firms, 23 corporate members, and 976 firms. This will generate 2,116,000 cedis, and it will give us an increase in revenue of 367,000. If we increase it by 20%, fellows will be required to pay 924 cedis, professional members 744 cedis, technician members 594 cedis, practicing firms 2,250 cedis, corporate members 3,450 cedis, trainee members 224 cedis. With this, an expected income in subscription of 2.3 million will be generated, and that will yield a revenue gain from the existing of an amount of 560,000 cedis. If we increase it by 30%, fellows would be required to pay 1,001 cedis, we'll round it up, 806 cedis, technician members 644 cities, practicing firms 2,438 cities, corporate members 3,738 cities, trainee 243 cities. And it would be expected to generate 2.5 million cities. And with that, we'll have an enhanced revenue in subscription of 752 cities. If we increase it by 40%, we would generate, we intend generating 2.6 million, and there will be an enhanced revenue of 944,000 cities. Is it projected? Wow. Now, if the subscription is enhanced by 50%, these are what we would have from fellows to trainee members, and we intend generating 3.3 million, and it will give us an enhanced revenue of 1.6 million. So same applies to, if we do it for 60%, this is what we have in, 70%, 80%, 90%. We also considered some comparables by our professional bodies in the built environment. And with your kind permission, for the Ghana Institution of Engineering, fellows are currently paying 2,000 cedis. That is a far cry of what we are required to pay in the neighborhood of, how much is it? 770 cedis. That includes 120 cedis welfare. They have categorized their professional members. So they have senior professional engineer paying 1,600 cedis, then the professional engineer 1,200 cedis, as opposed to what we are paying 620 cedis, out of which 120 cedis is required to go into welfare. So, governing council members are proposing that, bearing in mind the financial situation and the need for all of us to also consider our financial situation, governing council is moving for an increase in 50% over the existing subscription. 50. In other words, is there any counter motion? Oh, project, kindly project so that. So, Mr. President, I move for a 50% upward increase in subscription fee across all the categories.
Seconded. Any seconder?
Gustav, project so that we see our smoothness level.
Any seconder, please. Any counter motion? Oh, they have moved. Somebody is a counter motion.
Mr. President, counter motion. In view of all that he has said in our own personal pockets, I would like to propose that he does a 30% increase across board. I think that is far more reasonable. There won't be too much talk on that. Thank you. So I move.
Seconded. Okay.
Hello.
Somebody.
Hello. So, we are present.
Please, any additional counter motion?
Yes. So, diploma number 752 in good standing. So, I was thinking when my senior Meku was comparing to Ghana Institution of Engineering, that fellows were paying about 2,000, and that other. So, if you look at that trend, I was thinking that you are going to raise the subscription fee in line with what the other institutions were saying. So for you to say 50%, I was thinking that it's even below the best. So if you have to do, if you take their numbers, they are even more than us. Our institution, our numbers are scanty in a way, but they have more numbers, and yet they are paying more.
So what's your motion and the counter motion?
So I feel that we should raise our fees in line with what the other institutional bodies are paying.
That is 50% or 100%?
100%.
Any counter motion? Oh, please. Any seconder? Any seconder?
Okay.
Okay. No seconder. The motion is shut down.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in support of PP's motion, but a little modification, and that is that.
It has been seconded already.
Yes, but I'm trying to.
Okay.
Okay, so over the years, we've learned that council, even though it's supposed to remit to the division some monies, they hardly go over the years, unless that has changed last year. And so if council is going to ask us for any increase, ask for 30%, but then that must also go with the condition that council will commit and promise us that whatever is due the divisions will go to them. Otherwise, the divisions will continue to be weak, and we can't run that way. Thank you.
Yes, we have two motions on the floor. 30%. No, 100%. Nobody is shut down. I didn't see any accountable. No seconder. 50. Yes.
So, Mr. President, for me, I want to move for a motion of 20% so that this becomes gradual process. That's my own.
What? You said 30% has been moved already and seconded.
No, I'm moving for another one, 20%.
20%?
Yes, he mentioned
Okay, we hear you loud. 20. Any seconder? Maunya. Okay. So we have how many? Two motions on the floor. 3. No, the 101 was shut down because nobody seconded. 50 is dead. 30 stands. 20 stands. 20 is dead. No, 20 was seconded. Yes. As many. No, we have two motions now. 3. Which one was the 3? 30, 20, and what? 15. No, I didn't hear the 15. 50. 50. Was there a seconder? It wasn't seconded. No. No. Okay, 50. 5, 3, and 2. Okay, any seconder for the 50? Oh, okay. So how many people want us to increase our subscription? Because let's take it. RICS is taking $500. Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana is charging almost 1,000. In Ghana now we are the least, yet we expect so much. It does not work like that. Seriously. So we should, I'm not trying to this, but we should think about, because we are the least, but we want so much. 50, what we call 30%, please raise your hands. Let's count them. Brief. 30%. Oh no, they should stand and, or please count them for us. 30.
30%. And respectfully, the numbers will be approximated. So, fellows, 1,000 cedis. Professional members, 800 cedis. The approximation to the nearest 50 or 100. Exactly. Thank you.
What's your point of order?
57.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It wasn't accepted.
It wasn't accepted.
It was thrown off. Well, there was no seconded. Yeah, but nobody seconded it. Okay, council proposal of 50. Who seconds? So 30, how many? 91. Hey, are you sure? How many? So nobody is opposing it. Yeah. You are now going to 20%.
Yes.
That one has been killed because nobody seconded it. Nobody seconded it, so it has been shut down.
You see, we are going to create problems for ourselves because if the inputs are, let's say, secretariat staff payments, maybe maintaining the secretariat, let's look at our expenditure at the secretariat and now try to dovetail into the percentages. We cannot just say no. We can't say that. So let's do some analysis.
That analysis has been done. That is why these percentages.
50%.
Yeah, that's what we proposed, but there was no
Mr.
second.
President,
it has to add in a second 50%.
Mr. President, I think we are messing up things. There are motions on the floor. The treasurer talked plenty explaining these things, and they moved. And then there have been 2 other motions. Please let us go ahead and vote on the motions and not go back discussing what the treasurer has talked about. I beg you.
Thank you. Yes, the other motion, 20. Oh. From where I say 30 carries a day. Oh, you produce it. From where you see. Please, have you finished? You say? 20. Please raise up your hands. We are counting. Okay, now we have 30% increase, 91, 50%, 20% increase, 53. 30% increase carries the day. So, and it takes effect this council session. This council session. If even you have paid, you pay the difference.
Severe President.
Thank you.
Severe President.
So, when do we want it to take effect? First day, tomorrow. Today. Monday.
Severe President.
No. It takes effect immediately.
Immediately. So, if you have not paid and you are yet to pay, you are caught in the web of 30%. We will we'll write formally to members. But it takes effect immediately. Thank you.
President, I think we are just wasting time. Look, you must pay your subscription to qualify to vote at the AGM as at the end of the previous year. So this thing that we have approved today is expected to take effect from this year, from this AGM. You must all pay the new subscription for 2026, period. If by the end of 2026, December 31st, you haven't paid, you cannot vote at the next AGM. I mean, why do we mess up and just unnecessarily shout about things?
Mr. President.
Openi Ewofia, PP, thank you for your fatherly advice. Chair, my issue is how we can rather increase the money that comes into the institution. I stand to be corrected, but I believe we are more than 3,000 members. We are more than 3,000 members. From what has been put here, paid up members, blah, blah, blah. When you check, we might not get 3,000. Listening to an analysis yesterday, say we've increased water bill, no, electricity bill over time, but the amount that is going to the price something mechanism is rather reducing. What point am I trying to make? If we are 3,000 members, out of which only about 60%, quote and unquote, are interested in activities of the institution, what can we do to get the other 40 members to become interested in the activities of the institution? We are training a lot of technicians, but if you take, we are training a lot of people in the HND class. But if you take the number of technician class members that we have, it doesn't correspond with the number of students that come out per year. What can we as a house do to ensure that we bring them on board? And those who qualified as surveyors of whatever category, who are not members of the institution and are working, what can we do to them to ensure that they pay some money? When the auditor was presenting, he made mention of his norma. Without that norma, he cannot practice. Can we legislate from here today that if you purport to be a valuer and you don't have a norma, you cannot work? We write to the banks, we write to the other institutions. I believe the land surveyors have a format of a certain sort. I don't know. Can we apply it to the quantity surveyors? Can we apply it to the VES people? So that across board, if you purport to be a surveyor, without that number, your work shouldn't be accepted. And when that is done, we'll get people to pay their subscriptions and we'll get money to run the institution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Member.
President.
Senior, thank you.
On the floor, since.
It is for this reason, please, there are issues here. Let me clarify things. Due to the interventions that was started, especially with the website last year, we saw our subscription payment going up, and it has increased considerably this year. We are praying that it will increase because of the digital technology that we have deployed. And members' awareness that we are embarking on seriously. GhIS, like RICS, for now, is self-regulatory. In the UK, the government takes RICS serious to the extent that what RICS says is authority in UK. We haven't gotten to that level. That is why any attempt to frustrate the passage of the Surveying Council Bill is painful. If people are not seeking their own parochial interest, then there is nothing that I probably foresee. The Constitution gives us the power to expunge. We will put it now, whether we should go ahead to do so. Now, if you expunge the member, and the member undertakes any work, and he takes to the local assembly, and they accept the work, you have lost. You have thrown your members away, but you are not getting any returns. Because there is no legal regulation that can sanction us that, hey, show me your GhIS number before you bring this report to the bank, else go away. There is nothing like that. Like the Estate Agency Council, you cannot register to be a broker if they refuse to recognize you. You are a GhIS member. Once you are certified, when you go to the Estate Agency Council, pronto. So they have a support from the council to ensure that brokers are protected. We don't have. So if the council bill passes, and the council's relying on us to populate their register, at that point, we can say go. And if you go, nobody in the country can recognize you to practice. Be in quantity surveying, be in land surveying, be in what we call valuation and estate surveying. That is the fact of the matter. That is the fact. Somebody says, oh, the council bill. No, it's very, very key and crucial. People are signing valuation for millions of Ghana cedis for government to pay. They are not certified. What we have managed to do now is that from here, we are going to give all members in good standing to the judicial service. So those who go to court, beware. Very soon, when you go there, you can't talk. They will ask you to go. It's another support. If you are able to get that support, then that is why when the Registrar General said we should give all our members and pay, some of us refused. They say, oh, it's law. Fine. We were prepared to be arrested and prosecuted because I told the registrar that, look, we have brought members of like minds who are working with ethics together. It's a soft spot for you. You want them to come and pay subscription? Yes. What about the millions outside who are not paying but they are working? What do you do to them? He said, oh, media is law. That is the reason why I disagree with her that time. Also, our media is law. So it means if we cannot rein in our people, he doesn't care. And I said, I'm sorry. You can come and arrest me. It won't happen. So it is serious. The Surveying Council bill that people are joking with it is very serious for our mere assertion of authority on our members or members of like mind who are doing surveying services in this country. It is at that point that we can say we will expunge you. It means your daily bread is gone. Unless you pay your subscription, we give you member in good standing, take it to the council, they will give you license, then you are good to go. That is the fact of the matter. That is the fact. We are here, those in, GhIS, the Nigerian banks, Nigerians are coming here to do valuation and go in. They call some of you to come and you go and you are in your country playing second fiddle to a Nigerian valuer. Why? Because which law will prevent the valuer from Nigeria to come and work? Same happening to GhIS. It's very serious matter. Very, very serious. Thank you. I think I'll end here and we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Next item.
Surveyor President. Is the constitutional? Yeah, Surveyor Kwesi Edumpieni, 686 in good standing. Permit me to take you back a little bit. I was hoping that we'll vote on the motion for the 50% increase of the subscription fees because someone has seconded.
Please come forward.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, so Surveyor Kwesi Edumpieni, 686 in good standing. I said I was hoping that we would have voted for the motion for the 50% increment in our subscription fees because someone has seconded. But that didn't happen. I don't know if you can go back and vote on the 50%. Because
we are moving forward. Please, nobody seconded at that point, so we shut it down. That's why we have to seconded. Next item, review of the institution's constitution. Colleagues, some survey was sent to members concerning the proposed constitutional review. And we were informed this morning that it brought a whole lot of confusion to the extent that a lot of people did not even vote because they didn't understand. What the council was seeking to do was for members to agree on the items that had been outlined. That once you say yes, then it means it is ready for us to discuss on the way forward how to do this thing. That is how we were looking at it. But members thought once he says yes, then the constitution is changed by that. No. So because of that misunderstanding, we are tearing down that and we'll resubmit so that during the course of this council session, there will be AGM to consider various changes in our constitutions for the benefit of members. Thank you. Disciplinary actions. Now, the Governing Council is taking very strong view of indiscipline among members. We have disciplinary committee, that is a standing committee It is not an ad hoc per our constitution. And members should know that when you do anything wrong against our constitution, you will be sanctioned or you'll be taken through the disciplinary action. Currently, we have almost completed one. That's at the administrative, so it's on. But another one has come up. We have referred it to the disciplinary committee, so I will not go into it deeply. But what I want to say is that especially on our various WhatsApp platforms, the platforms are there for enhanced professional engagement and, for that matter, ensure decency. It is not there for insult. It is not there for derogatory statement against ourselves on the platform. If you are found, we will take serious actions against you. Already, we have taken out some members. And we hear that still there are ripples because people are not angry. Please, you can decide to have your agenda. But as far as Ghana Institution of Surveyors is concerned, we are decent people. We respect one another's view, but not derogatory statement. No, we will not countenance that at Governing Council. Moving on, we will take serious action. That is what we want to send out. All of us are members. Come out with very good practice situations. We will all discuss, give you various suggestions, give you this. That is the good of it. I wouldn't want to cite an example, probably, but I will use my division as an example. It's exciting. You are there on Saturday, somebody's work practice challenges. He brings it on a platform. Members are discussing, sharing their ideas. You give me an idea, I will use it to go and collect money from my client. That is what we want. But not to come there and insult somebody. No. We won't countenance it right from this council session. Thank you. Elections of GhIS members. At this time, the electoral commissioner, please, where is he? Please, where we've gotten to is elections of Governing Council members. Please come.
Survey President, please, I seek your permission to present the election results of the 2026-2027 Governing Council session. Survey President, before I start my presentation, I just want to make a quick comment. This afternoon, around 11:59, I received a call from a member who explained that we should extend the voting time for another 1 hour to allow the colleagues to also vote. I simply said, it is not going to be possible because if you have 24 hours, you could not vote. What will 1 hour do? The problem we realized was, from the time we started posting the voter register on the platform, majority of the members did not look at it. And generally, we realized that some of the emails had omission of either a letter, which they could have corrected. And some people, the message had been delivered, they could not receive it. And that one could also result from a situation where you have your text messages full and then you've not been able to collect. I hope next year the result will be better. And I want to say that the voter turnout for the main voting is 52.47%. And I start. This is for the Governing Council executive result. President, Surveyor Emmanuel Kofi Kobo, Fellow, 1,092, representing 99%. Senior Vice President, Surveyor Isaac Labi, Fellow, 1,088 votes, representing 98.64 votes. Vice President, Surveyor Osai at 5.55%. Surveyor Michael Frimpong, Fellow, 363 votes, representing 32.91%. Therefore, Surveyor Osai Ajiman Bedu, Fellow, elected Vice President. Treasurer, Surveyor Ebenezer Atta, Fellow, 1,093 votes, representing 99.09% elected. Surveyor Beatrice Kung, Fellow, 1,094 votes, representing. I move to the divisional results. Sorry. I think I mentioned I mentioned it already. Okay. Quantities Surveying Division. The voter turnout for Quantity Surveying Division is 55.57%. Surveyor Professor Gabriel Nani, Fellow, 323 votes, representing 19.46%. Surveyor Ian Agbenyenga, Fellow, 289 votes, representing 17.41, 276 votes, representing 16.63 votes. Surveyor Nyama Che Bafo, Fellow, 266 votes, representing 16.02%. Surveyor Jeffrey Afu, Fellow, 175 votes, representing 10.54%. Surveyor Professor Emmanuel Bafuaji, Member, 161 votes, representing 9.70%. Surveyor Emmanuel O. Fellow, 112 votes, representing 6.7, representing 3.43%. Therefore, the 5 top members elected to form GhIS for the Governing Council for Quantity Survey Division: Surveyor Professor Gabriel Nani Fellow, elected. Surveyor Ian Agbenyega Fellow, elected. Surveyor Julian Asiedu, member, elected. Surveyor Nana Nuema Che Bafo, fellow, elected. The last but not the least, Surveyor Jeffrey Afu, fellow, elected. For the technician class, 155 votes, representing 97.52% elected. Valuation and Estate Surveying Division. The voter turnout for the Valuation and Estate Surveying Division is 53.02%. Surveyor Timothy Anyindohu, Esquire, Fellow, 439 votes, representing 19.08%. Let me take it again. So representing 19.08%. Surveyor Priscilla Donko, member, 366 votes, representing 15.91%. Surveyor Dr. Benjamin Amakwe, fellow, 362 votes, representing 15.73%. Surveyor Anthony Malen Ntiador, fellow, 361 votes, representing 15.69%. Surveyor Stella Ba, fellow, 343 votes, representing 14.91%. Surveyor Dr. 59 votes, representing 11.26%. Surveyor Jeffrey Osafo Osei Jr., fellow, 169 votes, representing 7.34%. Therefore, the elected members for Valuation and Estate Surveying Division to form Governing Council: Surveyor Timothy Anyindohu, elected. Surveyor Priscilla Donko, elected. Surveyor Dr. Benjamin Amakwe, elected. Surveyor Anthony Malen Ntiador, elected. The last but not the least, Surveyor Stella Ba, elected. Land Surveying Division. Land Surveying Division is 47.60%. Here are the results. Excuse me, sorry, very sorry. Technician class VES, Anita Na Akuya Anan, 486 votes, representing 98.98% elected. Sorry. Land Surveying Division. Surveyor Robert Hackman Entry Fellow, 201 votes, representing 17.65%. Surveyor Alexander Aite present. Surveyor Dr. Tina Jibori Donagan Fellow, 176 votes, representing 50.45%. Surveyor Engineer Gustav Blom Asamoah Fellow, 167 votes, representing 14.66%. Surveyor Florence Lamte Fellow, 129 votes, representing 11.33%. Surveyor Kwame Osu Asamoah Fellow, 117 votes, representing 10.27%. Surveyor Frederick Bediaku Mensah Fellow, 112 votes, representing 9.8347 votes, representing 4.13%. Therefore, members elected to represent the Land Surveying Division on the Governing Council are Surveyor Robert Hackman Entry Fellow, elected. Surveyor Alexander Aite, member, elected. Surveyor Dr. Tina Jibori Donagan, fellow, elected. Surveyor Engineer Gustav Blom Asamoah, fellow, elected. And Surveyor Florence Lamte, fellow, elected. I now move to, why am I in a hurry? Sorry. Technician 144 votes, representing 98.39% elected. Women's in surveying. The voter turnout for wins is 55.31%. The coordinator, Surveyor Engineer GhIS Rosalind Atta, 222 votes, representing 99.11% elected. Secretary, Surveyor Bridget Na Ayele Hammond, 222. Treasurer, Surveyor Vivian Osai Boachi, member, 223 votes, representing 99.55% elected. The coordinators representing Land Surveying Division or Land Surveying Divisional Representative, Surveyor Engineer Rosalind Atta. Is this correct? Okay. 222. I'm reading the same name again. That's where I'm a little bit confused. Okay. Let me continue. 222 votes. Nine Ajo Koyo Nunu, 222 votes, 999.11% elected. Valuation and Estate Surveying Divisional Representative, Surveyor Mrs. Cecilia Abena Puma Akotia, Member, 222 votes, 99.11% elected. Why saying? Coordinator, Surveyor Cecilia Usu, member, 300 votes, representing 97.09. Electing Apia, member, 301, representing 97.41% elected. For the position of program coordinator, Surveyor Emmanuel Ni Makwe Mate, member, 251 votes, making 81.23%. Surveyor Solomon Bampo, 54 votes, representing 17.48%. Therefore, the program coordinator elected, Surveyor Emmanuel Ni Makwe Mate, elected. It's correct. Edmond Z. Immediately, effectively, please load the online results so that I can find why in the compilation of the names, Perpetual's name is missing. Meanwhile, she is the coordinator. Load it online and that we get. If there is any mistake in the names, it's because Excel file has been used to actually bring the data. But the details of the results will be accessible to every member using your voting case. With that correction done, which will not change the results, Surveyor President, this is the final election results for the main Governing Council, Executive Result, and Governing Council, YSN, and women. In survey. Thank you.
Thank you, Electoral Commissioner. This brings us to the end of our deliberation for this AGM. Now, from the matters arising, business of the day, going through all. At this point, we've got into any other business. If there is any other business that has not been discussed or has come up during the course of the meeting, please, a member can bring it up. We will look at it then. No, we'll come. Say any other business. You have to finish that one, then we'll call. Any other business? There is nothing seriously. Nobody has given us. So, well, I'm told that those other matters should have been brought to Governing Council before this AGM. That says the Constitution. So, in the absence of any prior item, before this AGM, we should have brought it. So, I think we now call for a closure. But before we go, I would like the Honorary Secretary, please mention the names of the newly elected, What's it? You should call them. Please, if you hear your name, you come up. You stand before us here.
Survey President, permission to call out the names of the elected candidates to come forward. President-elect, Surveyor Emmanuel Kofi Cobalt, Fellow. Senior Vice President-elect, Surveyor Isaac Liby, Fellow, elect. Surveyor Osai Ajimambedu, Fellow. Treasurer, Surveyor Ebenezer Atta, Fellow. Secretary, Surveyor Beatrice Koum, Fellow. Valuation and Estate Surveying. Surveyor Timothy. Surveyor Priscilla Tonko, member. Surveyor Dr. Benjamin Amakwe, sorry. Surveyor Anthony Malen Intiado. Surveyor Stella Ba, Fellow. Anita Na Akuye Anan. Land Surveying Division. Surveyor Robert Hackman Enchi, Fellow. Surveyor Dr. Tina Chibori Domaga, Fellow. Yes, Anita. Surveyor Engineer Gustav Blom Asamoah, Fellow. Surveyor Florence Lamte, Fellow. Mr. Shadrach Yao, the Pamakbo. Quantity Surveying Division. Surveyor Professor Gabriel Nani, Fellow. Surveyor Ian Agbenyega, Fellow. Surveyor Iulan Asiedu, Member. Surveyor Nana Nyama Che Bafo, Fellow. Surveyor Jeffrey Afo, Fellow. Mr. Richard Asamoah, Wings. Yes. Wings. Surveyor Perpetual Asumani. Secretary, Surveyor Bridget Na Ayele Hammond. Surveyor Vivian Osai Boache. Land Surveying Divisional Representative, Surveyor Engineer GhIS, Rosalind Atta. Quantity Surveying Division Representative, Surveyor Grace Ajo Koyo Nono. Valuation and Estate Surveying Divisional Representative, Surveyor Mrs. Cecilia Abena Puma Akotia, Member. YSN. Coordinator, Surveyor Cecilia Osu, Member. Vice Coordinator, Surveyor Ivy Gladys Waterbank Apia. Program Coordinator, Surveyor Emmanuel Ni Makwe Mate. Surveyor President, I am done. Surveyor President, I seek your permission to invite the past president to congratulate the newly elected Governing Council members, women in surveying executives, and YSN executives. Thank you.
Let them stand. You want to? Oh, okay.
Mr. President, fellow surveyors, I'm very pleased to stand here to talk to the young men. Oh, no, I'm the youngest man. So the old men and ladies who have been elected to serve on the governing council for the ensuing year. I am of the old school, and you are in the new and modern generation. We expect that you will do something good with integrity for the institution to grow. I've been monitoring what has been going on at the institution, and I am very pleased to learn that things are moving very smoothly. I pray that you continue to work hard to lift the image of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors for generations and generations ahead of all of us. Thank you all very much, and congratulations.
Please, you may sit down. Please, you may sit down. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for them. Congratulations to all candidates and colleagues, surveyors. We thank God how far He has brought the institution. I'm very happy to have worked with you all. This is because everything that we plan doing at the governing council level, when we tell you seriously, you supported us with finances, with prayers. And I have some prayer tower among the surveyors. When we came, they are secret. I won't tell anybody, but they have prayed with us throughout the year. All what we'll be able to achieve in the minds of members is not by our strength, not by our intelligence, not by our capacity. It is by the grace of God. I'm praying that the good Lord who has helped us be with us will continue to help and be with the current members, the governing council members elected, for them to push the surveying profession to the frontiers of leadership. As I said, for the first time, we were not counted as professionals worth our salt. But now we can say with all the boldness and the authority God has given us, this country cannot develop without the active involvement of surveyors. Indeed, right from the political elite, your works are recognized. For presidents of surveyors being invited to Jubilee House, not one, not twice, then it means they are hearing us. What I want to state is that though we are moving away, but our spirit, our whole being will be with the governing council like our past presidents has been. We will always be with you, pray for the institution, and hope by a year's time that we meet here, the good old surveying council bill will have passed into law. Yeah, it is our prayer And to say this last and probably end, the institution has been set on a transformative course. Since we became vice, all the initiatives and the presidents that we have worked with have all been prepared to support the cause. It is a moving train. He who cross the train, we will crush you, irrespective of where you are coming from. We want to work with like-minded professionals who want to leave a legacy now and into the future. Very soon we will leave the scene. But we are hoping and dreaming that Ghana Institution of Surveyors, the fire that it has been lit, will continue from generation to generation. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, that I seal it with it. Amen. Motion for closure. Okay. Let us hear something from you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Surveyor Outgoing. On behalf of the newly elected council members, we want to show our biggest appreciation to members for this confidence that you have reposed in us. Indeed, we have been part of the train. Probably we've been pushing from behind, but today we take over the mantle. I want to promise that we are not just moving at a low gear anymore, but we are going to be a fast train. The reason being that for many years and for many unexplained reasons, GhIS has not been where all of us expect us to go. And so as we transition into a new level, we want to promise members that this vote that you have cast today will not be in vain. We want to assure you that it will be a valuable vote. Every vote that was counted will yield to a better GhIS for all of us. We are most grateful to the past president, and if you sit and they are behind you, it's a store of wisdom. In fact, even as the AGM is going on, they keep churning us wisdom, and we believe that you continue to be with us, guide us, and direct us. And let me speak to my Gen Z people. If we want to be there, you are the next generation, and don't wait till you are voted for before you come on board. Show us the way into your path, and we'll be there working together. We thank you all for the votes. We thank you for your presence. Thank you for staying up to this point, showing that you love the institutions and you love us and will not disappoint you. Thank you very much on behalf of my council members. God bless us all.
Motion for closure. Gonzalez. Second. Yeah, please. Your name.
I, Surveyor Perpetual Many, with number 1160, fellow, move for the second motion for closure of the meeting. Thank you.
Egbecta. Egbecta, please lead us in a short prayer so that we can go. Please.
Shall we please be on our feet? Shall we pray? Abba Father, we thank you for this annual general meeting of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors. Father, bless the discussions, decisions, and fellowship we've shared, and guide us as we implement them with wisdom and integrity. Keep us safe as we depart to our various homes and as we meet again tomorrow to climax everything. This and many other blessings we ask. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
The cocktail is outside to your right.